Smart Route Optimized Intelligence for Transportation SROIT Algorithm. Hi viewers, this algorithm and approach is to minimize the fuel consumption and utilize the resources in optimum level. This will be very much useful where mass transportation is deployed like school, colleges, offices in many areas. So let us take the traveling area map for a college. Here we can allocate the bus route for students by knowing each strength or capacity of each bus irrespective to their starting point. So now let us deal with an example to explain about optimum usage of resources. Here a teacher assigns a task to 3 students. The task is that they have to collect 30 kg of rice over a distance or a path, and the constraint here is each person can carry maximum of 12 kg. Students start from the red flag point and collect rice at every blue flagged points. Here students are deciding to take 10 kg each. So now each student is coming up with a plan. Student 1 says that let everyone together will travel throughout the distance and carry the rice collected. Student 2 tries to minimize the human effort, so he says that let each carry 10 kg so that there is no need to travel throughout the distance for all. Student 3 tries to make it even more optimum, and he comes up with the idea that let student 1 carry to its maximum level, that is 12 kg, and once he reaches its maximum limit, student 2 starts collecting it, and after student 2 reaches its maximum limit, student 3 will start to collect. So there will be a very less traveling. According to this graph, you can understand that in student 1 plan, all have to travel entire path, but in student 2's plan, distance 2 and 3 is very much reduced. But in student 3 plan, you can find the huge difference. The distance of 2 and 3 will be more less when compared to all other plans. Let us discuss it with a real-time problem when it is done manually. Now 4 buses, say A, B, C and D, are operated in a linear path, and each bus capacity is set to be 50. In morning there won't be any problem in the allocation of resources or seats since the college start at the same time for all. But in evening they close on different timings like 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. So when it is done manually, the 4 buses will be split into 2 buses at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. At day 1, 3 p.m., if bus 1 coverage of strength is 30, where A said to be have 15 students and B said to have 15 students, and bus 2 coverage area of C and D strength is 70, means the solution is to pick 20 of C from bus 2 and allocate it on bus 1. For current situation, the problem may seem to be get solved. But on day 2 at 3 p.m., if we allocate it based on the previous day, means definitely problem occurs because the strength of the buses changes every day and it is dynamic also. So if C strength increase to 40 and A and B together constitute 50, means it is difficult to allocate A, B, C together. It cannot be allocated in bus 2 also because it has already reached the maximum level. So while transferring C's 20 into bus 2, there are 3 cases to be dealt upon. In case 1, if bus 2 is full, means new bus have to be allocated. Whereas in case 2, backtracking is one of the way in which it searches for seat availability in nearby routes to somehow manage the problem. If there is no availability of seat, means there will be redefinement of routes of the buses and reallocation of students in turn according to their destination. In case 3, it is difficult to implement backtracking at last, so the easiest way may be to make the remaining student to stand and travel. Other problem in doing manually is time and coverage distance for each bus. Whenever it comes for college, the college routes are defined by the college based upon the strength. Let us take a particular area and let's see how it is allocated manually. Each color represents each area which is defined by a person. Each bus is assigned to the route if they found to have more than 40 students for a bus. In this example, the total strength is said to be 460. So we need 10 buses since maximum capacity of each bus is said to be 50. But no bus is fully occupied, so more fuel consumption happening. Whereas in this case, if you see, means the strength is 450, but then also 10 buses are allocated to it. Actually, 9 will be enough for 450 students, but one bus is running extra due to the improper coverage plan. Let me say you how it can be sorted out. Violet area coverage can be reduced, whereas red and yellow bus coverage can be extended to all the maximum capacity. Red and yellow can be made to pass through white and violet to reduce the fuel consumption. In this schematic diagram, if you see, means you can clearly understand there is a huge difference between doing it manually whereas going with SROIT algorithm. When you do it manually, first the main task is to get all the stopping names, and in turn you have to design a map or a route to it, and then you have to count the students in each stopping, and allocating the bus manual based on the strength will be a very hectic task. And at last, each student bus number is assigned based on the previous outcome, which is not at all possible or a feasible way, because every day it keeps on changing. Whereas if you do it with SROIT algorithm, you can just get the stopping names and you can perform a mapping which just happens in 20 minutes, and at last SROIT optimization intelligence will just can be implemented in 2-3 minutes. So there is a huge margin of difference. Like manually, if you do, you have to allocate 5-6 hours, whereas it just happens in a half an hour time. Now let us come to the point of fuel consumption, which we are talking all about. Now let us keep it as bus mileage is said to be 4 km per liter, and if a college is running 100 buses, half of the buses are dependent on other buses, like in the route where the linear path is there, so it will be difficult where dependency is more. Now let us take each bus can save 2 km a day up and down by resolving this dependency problem. Total bus can save 100 km a day. So for a 200 working days of a year, you can save 20,000 km for 200 days. So the mileage can be calculated based on the fuel rate. So let us take like 1 liter of diesel costs 50 rupees. So there is 10 lakh rupees wasted on fuel itself per year for one college. So it all can be sorted out using the smart route optimized intelligence for transportation, that is SROIT algorithm, will be the perfect solution to properly plan the coverage area and as well as to conserve the fuel. Now let us come how the routes have been added into this SROIT algorithm. Whenever you just add the route, the area code associated with it automatically. The person who is managing have to tap it on or off, like toggling, so that whatever the routes are added will be toggled on and the rest will be toggled off. So here if you see, means the red line have all the flagged points in it and all the stopping names in it, whereas the other color which coincide with the red route will have to an extent where it coincides with the red. So there is no need to give all the stopping names at all the time. Once you give stopping points from one side to the college, automatically the coinciding routes will be taken over it. So after registering the student detail in the student registration form, the bus in charge will get the result page in a tabular format. Like first table will consist of every route and its respective student strength, and the other table will say about which student belong to which route. The most advantages, as I said earlier, automation. Automation will reduce all the computational error which is commonly caused by the human work. Human work is completely replaced by just an algorithm, and the fuel consumption will be very much minimized. The outcome will be so accurate, so none of the students will be standing in their journey most probably. So if you like the video, subscribe it and share it. Thank you.